Hey everyone, I've been a big video game collector for about 11 years now, and one of my biggest pastimes of recent is going on YouTube and checking out other people's video game collections. It's definitely interesting to see all the different variety of stuff people have out there, including box games, newer generation. Some people are specific to some consoles, or some people collect for everything. As of recent, I've been trying to become a completionist to an extent with some systems, box and whatnot, which has been a daunting task, but it's definitely been fun. So today we're going to go over my collection. First, I just want to talk a little bit about myself. I've been collecting games for about 11 years. When I was younger, I didn't really have a lot of games, so I would always play at my friend's house, stuff like that. And as I got older, get a job and afford this stuff, I went ahead and started collecting this stuff. I went looking for all the games I loved as a child, playing from a friend's house, and then picking up titles I always wanted to play that I never got a chance to play because my friends didn't have it, or nor did I. So I know when PlayStation 1 was out, I had an Atari, and we had a few games like Pac-Man, Joust, Berserk. Those games were a blast. But other than that, I would have to play Super Mario World, which is now my favorite game, over at friend Charlie's, and do stuff like that. So today I just wanted to show off my collection. Like I said, I've been collecting for about 11 years now, so just be one more video on the internet of people's collections, and hopefully you guys enjoy. Okay everyone, here's start of my collection. Just kind of go over. I have a PlayStation 1 banner over here, got the Halo 4, and you had a Dreamcast banner over here. Go up here, you got the Mortal Kombat 3 arcade thing, a couple of signs, and we got the collection. Just trying to give you an overview of everything right now. Come over here, got the, a few neon lights, TV and whatnot. And then come over here. I actually got a PlayStation Portable kiosk. I had a friend who owned this, and he really wanted a poster off of me. It was a Mario Brothers movie poster, and he offered to trade me this kiosk for this $5 movie poster. So of course I did. Went ahead and had a friend modify it for me. So I got all the old Super Nintendo games and everything on there, and games already preloaded on it. Mortal Kombat right now. And coming over here, I got a PlayStation 2 kiosk. I used to work at GameStop, and our store got a newer model in, so they let me take this one home. Of course, you would assume I'd be playing a PS2 game in here, but I actually got, Twisted Metal 2 playing, because that's probably one of my all-time favorite PlayStation games. Gotta love it. Over here, we'll move on to a couple of toys, stuff like that, and here, PS collection. Don't have a lot. I don't really play handhelds that much, but I do enjoy, the few games I have played. Mortal Kombat's. Actually, I had some mini game set, which is pretty fun. PS2 is the biggest video game library out there. If anyone tries to complete this one, good luck to you. There's over 2,500 titles for this. It's a huge task to try to attempt it. This game right here, Psyops. This game is definitely a hidden gem on the system. I don't know if a lot of people know of it, but you have different telekinesis powers, and you can chuck people into walls, stuff like that. Definitely fun. That and the game The Suffering. There's definitely a couple games on the collection you might want to own. Not really big on the European games, but I have a small little European PS2 collection. Currently over in Italy right now, and I've been kind of grabbing some titles I haven't noticed before. So, like this game right here, I believe it's only out here in Europe, Splattermaster, a little Guy with a little pumpkin hat and a chainsaw, and you just go around cutting stuff up, bursting into blood. Xbox is a fun little system. You have Stubbs the Zombie. I don't know if you haven't played this game. That's definitely a must for the original Xbox. Yeah, your Nintendo Wii. GameCube is huge for me. There's a Super Smash Bros. Melee. It's easily my favorite game for the system. And then there's so many great games on this, like the remake of the Metal Gear right here. It was great. We go down, and you got the whole Resident Evil series, which was great. And we get the Super Mario Sunshine. This is actually back in 2002 when I started collecting games. It was like the first game I bought. I bought a GameCube, and I did not have a game for 3 weeks until I got this, because I had to save up money to get it. It was so tempting to buy some cheaper titles, but I really wanted that game. And it was worth the wait. Milky N-Gage, definitely not a system I've played enough to really make an opinion on, but it's an interesting little system concept. Got the few Atari here, and then they kind of carry on over here. Got the little different memorabilia things. 360 is my favorite console of this current generation. The most games for that out of the three main systems. Sorry if it's out of focus. I got a new camera. I'm trying to figure this out. Move down to the PlayStation 3. Twisted Metal is great. The Mega Man Power Up is definitely a fun game for this system. If you have a PSP, that's a game you should go out of your way to look for if you don't already own it. Looks like Mega Man's missing in action right now, so might wanna, I guess, play some of the older games because we're not getting any new ones anytime soon. PlayStation 1, such a great system. This is my childhood, the PlayStation 1. Super Nintendo is where I started, but I think I played the most on the PS1. My friend used to just go to Blockbuster all the time and rent games. We'd sit here and play just like Army Men 3D and Twisted Metal 2, stuff like that, just for hours at a time. Silent Hill, huge game for the system. So many great franchises started off with this system. And actually it looks like my camera might be dying soon. Hopefully not. If so, I guess I'll have to figure out how to edit videos and have the second half of this in. My Sega collection looks pretty small, and it is. This is the box stuff. I do have some loose cartridge stuff, but they're mainly sports titles and nothing too fancy. I love the Sega, but I don't really have a lot for it. Kinda go down the line here. Scorpion. Can never go wrong with Atari. It's definitely a great system. Super Nintendo, God, I don't know what to say about this. Battle Metal, that was an interesting game. Captain America, I swear I like the Sega version better. The Super Nintendo version, for some reason, the difficulty level is just ridiculous. It's just a huge jump. Earthworm Jim series was amazing. Just found out recently that Tommy Tallarico, music composer, worked on that game, and I'm a huge fan of his. Jeopardy, Joe and Max, such a great side-scrolling franchise. It's another one. You got The Legend of Zelda. Primal Rage, that's a great game. Side-scrolling fighters were amazing for the system. Star Fox was awesome 3D. They used a little chip. Super Mario All-Stars. Super Mario World. I actually have quite a few copies of this game. It's definitely one of my favorites, and if I find it cheap, I just pick it up just because. Total Carnage, sequel to Smash TV. Original Nintendo's a fun system, but I really don't have any games that stand out as a super expensive type for it. I got a game here called Castle of Deceit, which I see sell for like 60 or 70 bucks, but systems I played, but it's not my main collecting goals. And as I've mentioned, earlier in the video, I'm currently overseas right now, and this is a North American collection, so finding these games, I have to pretty much go out of my way. I have to go online to find these. Oh, don't know where I left off. Hopefully I didn't double it up. Got the Marios, Mario 3, Mario 2. Ninja Turtles, Manhattan Project right there. Favorite Ninja Turtles game, hands down. Okay, now we're moving on to my box collection. This is something actually, as of recent, I've been getting big into collecting box games. I've always lacked a good box collection, and I've never bought games online until this year. So like finding box games in the wild just doesn't happen that often. So now like my biggest collecting goals right now are getting my box collection up. So Super Nintendo, I got all these games in one lot for the most part. I had a friend who owned a video game store and he got a really good deal on all these. So I gave him I think $300 for all these Super Nintendo games boxed, which he really hooked me up with that. So now we're moving on to, this is where it comes earlier, as I mentioned. I'm starting to become a completionist to an extent, and I decided the system I'm going to be doing that for is going to be the Nintendo 64, and I want to get the complete system boxed, which is not an easy task by any means. Like, some of these games are ridiculous. Like this game right here, like Sculpture's Cut, if anyone knows, like that game is beyond expensive. The manual alone is going for over $1,000 right now. So this has been one of the most fun and rewarding, things in my collection, but at the same time, one of the most financially restricting things of my collection. So right now I currently have, I believe, about a little over 170 games right here. And then I actually have, I think, another 20 or so games on order. There's 296 games in the complete collection, and I'm about 2/3 the way done now, which is pretty good feeling. And I still got a ways to go, and hopefully I can finish it this year, but that kind of comes down to finances, and it comes down to if they show up on eBay in good condition, because I'm much. Definitely not buying any, beat up boxes just to fulfill the collection. Every game, I don't know, you see this little reflection. Every game in this collection is in these little protective cases, which really help preserve the box. And that's, if you're going to be spending this kind of money on these, you really want to keep these games in the best shape possible. Any collector would love to get them as well. Oh yeah, so that's kind of we just kind of went over all my PS2 and my Super Nintendo and all that stuff. My Nintendo 64. Over here I just got this recently. It's a PS2 launch banner. For October 26, 2000. That's just picked that up recently on eBay. Definitely worth having. Now we're gonna kind of move on over. So over here in this corner we got Lemmings. A little advertisement for the PSP version. Got the neon lights. And we got video game drinks. We got the WoW, Call of Duty, Halo. We got some video game energy drinks. Over here, we got some collector's editions. StarCraft 2 sealed. Actually, I have a lot more sealed games we're going to be getting to here in a moment. Halo 3 helmet. Going over some more drinks. Halo 3 from 2007. Got out of neon lights. Those are some other things I got some good deals on as well. Atari box, collector's edition, or tournament edition, sorry, of Mortal Kombat. Full of shot glasses up there. And then PS2 and Xbox. I don't know if you notice right here, you can kind of see, on the far left you got Mario, and then on the far right you got Sonic. I did this because I feel like that's one of the biggest fights, like console war wise, between two characters. Again, that pretty much sums that up. So down here we're gonna get a little into this. Over here we got, the sealed collection. I want to say I don't collect sealed games, like I don't go out of my way to get them, but as of recent I kind of have been. Like if I find a good deal, I'll buy it and leave it sealed if I already have a copy, or if I'm just not interested in playing it at that moment. And then a lot of games, like if I buy it, if I'm not going to play it that day, I will not open it until I'm ready to sit down and actually play it. I've opened games in the past that still to this day I haven't played, and now I just kind of regret opening. So that's kind of now a backlog of these games has got pretty ridiculous. So right here you got the Resident Evil Revelations misprint. It's one of the biggest mess-ups, like misprints out there. I think they made more copies of that misprint than any other misprint that's escaped to shelves. Got PS3. Got a Joust for Atari, still sealed. Just picked that up recently. Got 360, Resident Evil 5's great. This Halo 2 I actually picked up at a Goodwill for, zoom out. I actually picked this up at a Goodwill, still factory sealed. And I cannot focus. I'm trying to do this manual focusing. So I got this Halo 2. It's a launch day one, it's blurred out right now, but it's 11/9/04. And I got this at a Goodwill for $5.99 about a year ago. I about freaked out. And right here, you got World Tour Soccer 2002, which obviously there's nothing exciting about that. But you pull these out, and every one of them are factory sealed, but they're all missing their artwork. I've never seen that mess up. I've picked these up at a thrift store as well, pretty cheap. It was like $1 each, and I don't think I would have grabbed it. Like if it didn't have the sticker on top explaining what it was, I would have missed out on it. I'd have been like, oh, those are just some black, cases filled with games. And it would be a mystery till this day what games are in them. So get over here, you got PS2. I got 4 DSi still sealed, some Wii plays. This is one of the Kickstarter games, the London Trust of something for the DS. Yeah, Dead Space 2, American Idol. I could pay like $2 for that. Once again, I don't collect many European games, but this driver right here is something I was really looking forward to when they first announced the game. And then when it came out in North America, we didn't have it. And I just thought like maybe they canceled it. And you know, to my surprise, I was out here and I ran into it. So I went ahead and picked up the Italian version of it, just like at my collection. Metal Gear is obviously huge. Got the Kirby, Mario, Legend of Zelda. These are all sealed, and then getting right here to BioShock, this one that just becomes collector's edition. It's all been played. Kind of go down the line a little bit. And then over here, it's not much, but you know, I got my Game Boy games, and then Neo Geo Pocket Color. And over here you got Game Boy Advance games. Could go into detail with those, but maybe I'll make another video in the future. Super Mario World is easily my all-time favorite game. It's the game I couldn't even tell you how many times I've beat this game. And then got a few systems down here. I have more systems, but I'm not gonna pull them out today. It's too much. And then you guys have already seen these. The cool thing about the Halo right here is I was really big on Halo 1 and Halo 2. And then after that, I pretty much gave up on the series. Like I actually grew like hatred for the series. And every time I heard Halo, I was just like, man, I am so sick of that series. Well, then when Halo 4 came out, you know, I turned around and I gave it a try. And it like renewed my faith in the series. Like 343 Studios took over. You know, Bungie left and 343 took it over, and I really felt like they captured like what made the first two so amazing. So I ended up picking this banner up and for a cheap price, and I'm loving the crap out of it. But alright guys, I appreciate you checking out my video. You guys have a good one.